Howdy everyone, y'all know it's me, Voltage, and I'm recording this directly after my last video that I just did of the last part of this, mainly because I really want to get this stuff done and just get it done on my channel for good, to get Voltage Adventures done on my channel, because I still got 2 full parts to do. I got to finish Enter Voltage and the final journey still. I've been lacking on doing these stuff, so let's keep going, I guess, from where we just left off, elsewhere in Dank Forest. This is where things get bad for Voltage. Pose just thanks, Dumbran. Voltage really thinks he can stop me. I'm going to put an end to this now. Slowly walk off into the dungeon towards Voltage's base. Flashes back to Voltage. Walks over to an overberry bush and starts eating a few berries. Then he hears crunching behind him. He knows that thinking it's another wild Pokemon eating berries. Ahem. Hello, Voltage. Voltage freezes before he slowly turns around, seeing Phalanx standing there. Oh no, how did you find my home? I've known where you all are. We all went. Chaos is in psychic fields. Infinity is the revolt of the Yellow Tails. It's supposed to give legible whatever. You have no one who can help you. Good credit you picked a good time to fight me when no one can help me. Ares, I know you're there. Get Chaos ready if I need help. Get into a fighting stance. That's unthinking right there. And Phalanx flashes out of safe behind Voltage, preparing to use Crunch right on his back. Voltage spins around, turning his tongue to iron, and slams his tail as hard as he can towards Phalanx. Phalanx bites down on the iron tail before he slams Voltage up and down repeatedly before biting even harder into his tail. Voltage screams in pain as his iron tail falters as Phalanx sinks his teeth into his tail. In pure reaction, he punches Phalanx in the face. Phalanx jumps back startled, releasing Voltage. Voltage falls to the ground, teeth marks on his tail, and many deep cuts on it. He grits his teeth, fighting back the massive pain, and gets to his feet using Thunderbolt. Phalanx leaps to the side, charging forward, slamming to Voltage with a Giga Impact. Voltage just gets sent flying back, falling to the ground, struggling to get to his feet. I've almost hit my limit, I need to keep going. His eyes flash red as he flashes out of sight, appearing in front of Phalanx, charging forward and blitzes electricity using Volt Tackle. Phalanx takes the hit before spinning around using Iron Tail, smacking Voltage hard across the face. Voltage goes flying back, plowing to tree and falls to the ground unconscious, barely breathing. Phalanx lunges forward, ready to finish him off. Chaos flashes into sight, already using the Hyper Beam toward Phalanx. Takes the hit looking at Chaos. You really think you can win alone? No, I know I can't alone. She then whistles. Ares appears in the view beside Chaos. You will cause no more harm to Voltage, or you will enter the powers of a god. You win this day. Phalanx proceeds to run off, leaving Chaos, Ares, and an almost dead Voltage in their wake. Chaos floats over to Voltage, picking him up. Oh no, he's struggling to breathe. He might not make it. Bring him here. Chaos floats over to putting Voltage in front of Ares. Chaos, you have the power of Transformer Warp in you. It could be helpful to him as well, but to do so I need your approval. He's your human and your problem after all. Need something to give him an edge. Do it. Give him the power to warp and transform, but the transformation has a catch. He can only turn to other electric types. Focuses on Voltage and slowly healing him, and bestowing 2 new powers upon him. Don't worry, that won't hit. The transformation stuff is only exclusive to Raichu and Pichu. When should he wake up? Give him some time. He's going to be okay by tomorrow. I'll wait for him to wake up. You have to train his abilities. I will hold you to that. He vanishes. Chaos picks up Voltage and floats into his base, setting him down on the ground and his grass bed. She uses Transform. I'll just lie down and wait for him to wake up to train with him. The next day, Voltage starts to get up moaning in pain, like I don't feel good. Next day, you finally wake up. Turns it up to Chaos. I assume you lost the Phalanx. You almost died. I barely made it in time to save you. I need to train. I'm not ready to fight yet then. Actually, about that, you now have 2 new abilities. Wait, what? What can I do now? Well, for example, she uses Transform. You should be able to Transform to turn to electric types to increase your mobility. Voltage focuses on his mind on becoming Pichu as he slowly starts to glow white and white shifting. Did it work? Well, yes, you're a Pichu now, but you keep your moves, but you're faster in this form. Focuses and you start seeing Transform. Well, I'm a Raichu now. I can feel the power surging through me. Well, it appears you can use Transform now. Hopefully that will help in some fights. Will you use Transform? You said another ability as well. It's a simple one. You can use Teleport now. focus on wanting to be somewhere else, and she will teleport that location. Voltage focuses on being right next to Chaos as he vanishes and reappears right next to her. Oh, that's going to be really useful in fights. Well, I use it often to help posture already really fast. Well, I tend to try to get in there and defeat my opponent quickly. You have to have patience. Your strategies won't always work. Won't always win. Well, I want to test my new abilities out, so do you want to do a battle? You're gonna fight me? You're an interesting one. Most people never challenge me to a fight. Well, you're a strong opponent, and if I could put up a fight against you, I can do something against Phalanx. Fine then. She floats on the base, floating above the grass, surrounded by trees, with the sun shining down from above. Voltus leaps out. Voltus jumps out, getting into a fighting stance, waiting for Chaos to make the first move. Chaos flies forward, ready to Mach Punch. Voltus teleports to her above Chaos, coming down with an Iron Tail. Chaos takes it, sending it around with Voltus laying on top of her, pinning her to the ground enough. She uses Psychic, picking him up and slamming him into the trees before sending him flying towards her. Voltus realizes he's flying towards Chaos and spins in the air using Iron Tail. Chaos slams a force palm to Voltus while taking the Iron Tail across the chest. She goes flying back in a tree and Voltus goes flying back to another tree. He falls to the ground, slowly trying to get up. Chaos slowly tries to get up. Both collapse at the same time with swirls for eyes. And those two hit each other so hard that moves, the Force Palm and the Iron Tail, both made a double KO, which is pretty hard to do because they hit each other that hard. 15 minutes later, Chaos, I think I fainted. She slowly floats in the air, looks at his head, seeing Voltus on the ground with swirls for eyes. Oh dear, I think we tied in this fight. She floats over, picking him up on the ground before floating into the base and setting him on his bed. Man, I can't believe we actually tied with him. He's getting stronger. But I can't even go too far. I could risk causing way too much harm to him. Way too much damage to him. Sure, it could take lots of damage, but like this. But we can die, and I don't want that to happen. Chaos floats out of the base to keep watch. A few hours later, Voltus slowly wakes up and looks around. Walks into the base. Nice to see you finally awake. Well, I did take a pretty good hit. Did you faint as well? Oh, yes, I did, but I took less damage. I can't take as many hits as you because you have Berserk. Even with that, I still have difficulty. I'm not invincible. I can still fall in combat pretty easily. Strong foes just so strong, I barely beat you. Just keep training, you will grow stronger. Voltus walks over to a berry bush and starts to see some berries. Elsewhere. What do you mean, Infinity? I must go back to Time Travel Lake. I have business to attend to. I haven't had fun. To have had fun working with you at the Guild, but it's time for me to leave. Thank you for being here with me. I hadn't want to talk to much besides you ever since Cass left to train Voltage. I see a bright future ahead of you. Keep getting stronger, Sniv. We will meet again. She vanishes from sight, reappearing in Time Travel Lake. Man, it was fun to fight alongside Sniv, the Guild Legend. But my home dungeon was calling for me. I know they will come here later in the future. Until then, I must wait and train. Back to Sniv. You see, I focus on Sniv and Voltage, both two main characters in the prequel part. And all the characters from Voltage Adventures, even characters like a few Easter egg ones you'll see later on, who characters that never really appeared in the story, but will appear later on for some pretty surprising stuff. Every character who's been in Voltage Adventures at this point will appear. Every single main character will appear at least once in this story. I'm going to miss them. They were a good ally and teammate, but now I'm back to being a solo fighter. I still have 2 full years before Voltus comes out. There's a knock on the door. Enter. Eve pushes the door slowly open, closing it open. Hello, Sniv. I came to see how you're doing with your team. Wait, where's Infinity? She's gone. She went back to Time Travel Lake. Vortex walks in the room, following Eve. Ah, hey, Sniv. Nice to see you again. Your team has become pretty well known. I'm the only member of my team. That's sad to hear. If you want, you can join Team Typhoon. No, I've been solo before. I can do it again. Okay, if you need help, we will be here. Thanks for the offer, Eve and Vortex. Let's go to our mission, Eve. See you, Sniv. See you later, Sniv. You both stay safe. See, Vortex and Eve both made appearances right here. I like making little Easter egg characters appear. Sniv walks away to the training room. I may be level 90, but I still want to get stronger. She dashes across the room towards the dummy, spinning around, slamming an Iron Tail into the dummy. It goes flying across the room, slamming into the wall. Sniff lunges forward, slicing it in half with a leaf blade. A Froakie hops into the room. This is the Easter egg characters I'm talking about being Delta. He's a character that's never been in an official Voltage adventure story until now because, well, I wanted a sort of rival for Sniv, and Delta's the rival character. Hello, Sniv, nice to see you again. Delta, what are you doing here? I heard news that Infinity had to leave, so I thought I might be able to come train with you, so you're not alone. I know you're pretty strong, you're faster than me. Want to battle then? I have type advantage, so let's do this. Hops to one side of the battlefield, getting into a battle stance. Snoop jumps to the side of the field, getting ready. Delta uses Water Pulse before dashing forward towards Sniff and jumping into the air. Sniff spins to the side, dodging the Water Pulse before turning her tail into Iron, colliding with Delta. Delta manages to overpower Sniff's Iron Tail with an acrobatics, slamming hard into Sniff, landing behind her. Cries out in pain after getting hit by a super effective acrobatics, and Delta carries no item either, making the move even more powerful. Delta proceeds to jump forward using Ice Beam. Sniff turns on Slim and Iron Tail as hard as she can to Ice Beam, sending it back towards Delta, then quickly using Synthesis Healing. This could be a problem. He gets slammed by the Ice Beam, getting launched into the sky, falling to the ground frozen solid. Sniff leaps forward, spinning in the air, coming down hard with Iron Tail. The ice around them explodes, sending them flying into the air. But they quickly use Grass, not tying Sniff up, before firing off tons of water pulses and a few Ice Beams, landing on the ground. Sniv gets pelted by the water pulses, and then sees the Ice Beams. Well, I'm done. The Ice Beams hit Sniv. The Ice Beams slam into Sniv, sending her flying frozen solid, falling hard to the ground. The ice shadows reveal Sniv knocked out. But is that all it takes? Yeah, Ice type move versus a Snivy, even the same level 90, that will just take him out usually. He hops over to Sniv and puts an Aura Barrier next to him, and then hops away. He'll need to fight me again, especially if he can't dodge my ice type attack. A few hours later, Sniff slowly gets a morning of pain, then sees the Aura Barrier instantly, gets it feeling relieved. If I'm too slow, if I lost the Delta. I need to trade my speed if I want to take him down, plus I need to actually use a range move. I stole the Razor Leaf, but I haven't used it in forever. I want to train and work my speed. She runs off. In Dank Forest, Voltage slams an Iron Tail on the ground, causing a shockwave. Good, you're hitting harder. Sniv sneaks in theory, hiding behind a tree. I'm still not hitting hard enough. Chaos, you could try Iron Tail on me, but after I become a more suitable Pokemon to use to transform, no, I could take more hits, seeing as I could use Iron Defense. Proceeds to summon shields around her, raising your defense. Come at me. Voltage leaps forward, slamming an Iron Tail as hard as he can into her head. Chaos goes flying back, plowing to a tree. Ouch, I hurt a lot for not being super effective. She charges forward using the Skull Bash. Voltage spins to the side, managing to dodge it, before managing to use Electro Ball aiming at Chaos. Uses Transform. Ducks on the Electro Ball, then use Transform running forwards. Chaos spins using Iron Tail. Voltage uses Iron Tail clashing with Chaos. Both Iron Tails slam each other, causing sparks to fall to the ground as Voltage and Chaos hold their ground. Voltage uses his eyes slowly start to go white as he pushes forward. Chaos starts to falter. Voltage drops the Iron Tail, spinning to the side. Chaos falls forward, hitting the ground. Voltage slams the Iron Tail down as hard as he can into Chaos. Chaos screams in pain as the transform shatters, causing Iron Tail to slam very hard into her back. With such force, the ground explodes, sending a magical cloud of dust as she slowly loses consciousness. His eyes flash back to normal blue as they fall over knocked out. Sniv runs behind the tree, worried. Oh dear, Chaos took one nasty Iron Tail. Sniv uses Divines, picking Chaos and Voltage up, carrying them both into the tree that makes Voltage's home. He looks at his items. I have no revive seeds. I need to wait for him to wake up. 2 hours later, Chaos slowly starts to wake up. Man, Voltage put everything into that Iron Tail. She uses to recover, healing her HP before feeling her back. Oh no, you broke a bone on my back. It should eventually heal up. I should eventually heal up. Hey Chaos, nice to see you okay. Voltage hit you with one heck of an Iron Tail, and his eyes started to glow white in his battle with you. Like he broke a rib mine in that fight, so he's finally reaching his peak power without mastering Berserk. However, he can still learn a lot. What brings you here? I need to work on speed training. I assume you had a battle? Well, yeah, I did, but I lost against Delta the Froakie, and I lost pretty badly. Chaos uses psychic reading Sniv's mind. Well, he knows Ice Beam and Acrobatics and Water Pulse and Grass Knot. That's a good moveset for a Furky. I'm not even going to ask how you know that. But yes, the moveset is too much for me to handle. I was forced to return Razor Leaf. If you keep up with me, then you should be able to get faster than him. Sniv? Well, let's try. Chaos floats outside the base waiting for Sniv. Let's have you try dodging my weak Ice Beams. Okay, sounds good to me. Chaos proceeds to slowly fire Ice Beam after Ice Beam. Sniv leaves the air dodging the first Ice Beam before falling down the path of the next Ice Beam. Taking hits, spinning to the side, dodging the next while using Synthesis Healing. Then lunges to left, dodging the next Ice Beam. Trying on this, she fires off tens of Ice Beams towards Sniv. At Sniv and around her. Sniv spins around using Iron Tail, slamming into Ice Beam, sending them back towards Chaos. Oh, she uses Psychic, directing the Ice Beam back towards Sniv. This is gonna have to work. She leaps in the air, coming down with Iron Tail, causing explosion of rocks to be launched into the path of Ice Beams. Then she spins around and slams her tail into some of the rocks. Chaos flashes to the right, causing time to slow to land a Mach Punch after Mach Punch into all the rocks, causing them to explode in dust, and her eyes flash normal. Then she falls to the ground, gasping in pain. I exert myself way too much by using my time slow. Let's take a break then. Chaos floats back into base before collapsing. Don't push yourself too hard. I need you to stand guard for me, please. She then collapses. I must manage myself. 5 days later, after more training, Sniv leaps in the air, spinning around, dodging the Ice Beams flying at her. She then slams her tail on the ground, sending a shockwave across the ground. Chaos, you're getting much faster and much stronger. I know. I think I could challenge Delta again. Why is Voltage still unconscious? It's been 5 days. I knew this would happen eventually. He's been pushing his strength too far. He can't manage that much. He's reached a point where his strength is unstable, so his body went into a coma state. He won't be awake for quite a long time. Keep him safe. I must go and re-challenge Delta. She runs off. Why did you push yourself so hard, Voltage? This is all my fault. You're stuck as a Pikachu, now unconscious. I pushed you too far in training. I'm sorry. Please wake up for me. 2 hours later in the Guild of Legends, training room, Froakie is firing off Ice Beams and sending water pulses into dummies. Sniv's been gone for almost a week. I wonder when she'll be back. Sniv runs the room. I heard you wanted to re-challenge me for my guild member. I've been training for the last week to see who wins. I must seek weapon and Vine Whip as well. I'm always game for a new fight. He hops onto one side of the battlefield. Sniv leaps in the air, landing upside down, and starts to spin before pushing off with vines, launching towards Delta with Iron Tail. She's basically spinning on her head and launches forward with her vines. Delta shrieks in surprise, taking a hit across the chest, that then goes flying back using an Ice Beam. Not this time. Sniv proceeds to leap into the air, spinning it around, coming down while using Vine Whip. Delta leaps forward using Acrobatics, slamming into Sniv's Vine Whip, easily pushing aside and slamming into Sniv. As they both fall to the ground with Delta on top of Sniv, then immediately uses Ice Beam repeatedly, freezing Sniv solid. Instantly falls to the ground, frozen inside the ice. She turns her tail into iron and starts to hit the ice. Delta leaps back surprised as ice explodes around, revealing Sniv. Her eyes turn purely black as she vanishes from sight. Sniv, where are you? She appears behind Delta using Vine Whip, grabbing his leg, and holds in the air upside down. Put me down, Sniv, this isn't funny. Sniv proceeds to start spinning Delta around repeatedly in the air before slamming them into the ground hard. Then lifts a barely conscious Delta and flicks her vine to the side, sending Delta flying into a wall. Delta falls to the ground instantly out cold. Sniv's eyes turn back to normal as she looks over and sees Delta unconscious. Looks like I win this time. She walks her and places Norma Bear next to Froakie and walks off. In Dank Forest, 2 days later. What do you mean, Sniv? I ended up messing Delta up with a sort of special ability. I ended up getting frozen and broke out of the ice. The next thing I knew, Delta was unconscious, slamming against the wall of the guild. Interesting, so the status condition ended up giving you a buff for some reason. I haven't seen that kind of ability much. Have you seen the ability before? I've seen abilities like it, but none of that is the exact same. But none of that is the exact same. It's like both Berserk, but yours activates a different way. Can you test me with see how it activates? I can try inflicting a status condition on you and see if it activates. Freeze activates it, I know that at least. We'll try poison status effect also. If you try to fight back, I won't hesitate to fight back. I know I can partially handle my abilities, but I don't have full control. Hit me with a toxic. Chaos fires a glob of poison at Civ that hits him. Yep, I'm poisoned alright. She slowly falls to the ground, getting weaker as her eyes turn black, and she charges Chaos with the Vine Whip. Chaos grabs the Vine Whip in front of her face and starts to spin Sniff around above her head before slamming her to the ground hard before firing off a Thunder Wave. Sniff circles her feet, getting hit by the Thunder Wave, then proceeds to fall back to the ground, spazzing from electricity. Chaos, I'm sorry, Sniff. She spins around and slams an Iron Tail into Sniff's head. Sniff passes up the second Iron Tail makes contact with her. I may have went too hard on Sniff. Sure, she's level 100, but status conditions do lots of damage, especially poison. I've treated your pocket watcher. This is a bit much for me. What have I done? Voltage has been down for the last couple weeks. I hope you wake up soon. She floats out over the base and uses transform. I guess I'm gonna have to stand guard until at least one of them wake up. The next day, slowly gets to her feet, walking out to the base and hacks her sleeping next to the door. She spins while using Iron. The transform breaks as she flies into a tree. What the? Oh no, I'm sorry, Chaos. I'm fine. That just hurt quite a bit. I'll end this in a second. We should continue training until Voltage wakes. I'm fine with that. Let's get started. Elsewhere in the dreamscape. I'm gonna end this here, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to tell you what you're gonna do. See you. Woohoo!